So you've been thinking about moving to Phoenix and you heard that there's wildlife in our city, or more specifically, I talk about critters because that kind of covers everything. Well, you're a little leery about what does critters mean and what exactly do we mean about wildlife in the city? Look, if you're worried about all the different types of things that live in the greater Phoenix area, you're not going to want to go anywhere because this is going to just completely blow your mind. Here we go. Hello, this is Sheryl Willis over at the Real Agent Now group. If you do not subscribe, please do so. Click that bell. We'll let you know when we release new videos twice a week. We have a huge library. If you have any questions, if you're thinking about moving to Phoenix, pick up that phone, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. These nicer weekends, we got you back when moving to Phoenix, Arizona. Let's get you started right now. All right, let's start off with maybe the easier, friendlier ones, or so you think. We have more birds than most states do in the entire country. In fact, the top 3 states, if you are a bird watcher, is Texas, California, and Arizona. With more than 250 species, there is nothing shy of tons of birds to watch. We kind of have 2 different sets of birds. We have the wintering birds that come south for the winter. Those are going to be like the Canadian geese that we love to see. They are hilarious. They come on in these massive groups of, what do you call them? Herds? Schools? I don't even know. I haven't done that much research on the birds, but I can tell you when it's starting to cool off in Canada, you can hear them coming into Arizona. They have this very unique squawk and their massive group family that's coming with them, and they're in the most beautiful formations. And then when they hit the ground, I'm telling you, they just waddle across the road like they own the state. All right, then we also have desert birds that you see here year round. It is amazing how many birds we have here. Some of them are as beautiful as massive amounts of hummingbirds. Let me tell you, there are certain plants and of course the hummingbird feeders that you can hang from your trees or your eaves in the backyard. You are going to see hummingbirds here like you've never seen before, and they are the cutest little things. We also have grounded birds like roadrunners. Those are super fun to watch out crossing the road. Now, I don't mean these are in every neighborhood. Maybe I should make that really clear. Roadrunners are going to be in the desert part of the Phoenix area. If you didn't know, we have mountains in the city. Let's kind of deviate real quick and let's take a look at a topography map for the greater Phoenix area. Now, if we look at this aerial photo of Google Maps, right? And we can see where the mountains are. Notice that we have mountains that are kind of throughout the entire greater Phoenix area. Now, does every single mountain have every single kind of bird, bug, snake? No. But there are some that are more prevalent and you're going to see in certain areas. And so if you are thinking about a certain area and you want to live near mountain views, let me give you a website that you can go to and you can type in the city, the mountain range, or the area that you're looking at, and they will actually, you can look at any city that will tell you what is native to that area. It's a great website. Ready? It's iNaturalist.org. So if you are worried about a specific area, this is going to give you direct access to what is going on, and it will tell you, this is the best website ever. It will tell you the last time that thing was spotted in that mountain. So if you see something and the most recent time it was spotted was like 2016, probably going to be few and far between before running into it again. But that's the great thing about the greater Phoenix area. It is so outdoor in a modern city. So this doesn't mean that we have cactuses everywhere. We don't have tumbleweeds rolling through town. Every different part of the greater Phoenix area is different. All right, let's go back to those amazing birds. Now, here's the biggest surprise about Arizona. People don't realize this. Not only do we have the fun, cute, little tiny birds, there are so many doves here. Yes, they're cute, but when you have a ton of them all the time and you got bird shit all over your back patio or your patio furniture, you're not loving them very much. But here's the super cool thing. We also have a lot of birds of prey. These are raptor birds. These are birds that have the hooked beaks. They're a little bit more aggressive. Now, do we see them very often in the city? But no, but when you do see them, you're like, whoa. I'm talking about hawks, falcons, eagles, owls, and vultures. They are stunning. One time, Levi and I, my pup, we were hiking up near Prescott area, which is only about an hour and a half, 2 hours outside of the greater Phoenix area. And there was some roadkill. And this massive eagle came down and picked it up right in front of my truck and took off. Dang! I don't text and drive and I didn't have my phone in my hand, but I'm telling you, it was the most amazing thing seeing Mother Nature at work. In fact, we have an amazing restaurant. If you come to town, I would highly recommend, called Cooper's Hawk, that is named after one of the hawks that we see here in the greater Phoenix area. All right, let's go on to the next species. All right, the next one is arachnids, or let's just say spiders. But spiders are only part of arachnids. Remember that movie, Arachnophobia? What was that, from the 80s? All right, nobody likes spiders. I shouldn't say nobody, but rarely do we like spiders. But here's what you do to treat your home. You have your home treated with a chemical company, and there are some natural treatments. I use a company that does use certain pesticides that are gentle because I have a dog and I'm very concerned about what my dog has access to or is nearby. So we use special type of pesticides that are animal friendly. And because I do this, I have not seen a spider in my house in over 25 years. I am not kidding you. Ever. I'm not kidding you. Not one single spider web, but I do have my house cleaned professionally every other week. But I'm telling you, this stuff works. And if you are in fear of scorpions, you're gonna want to do that. Let's talk about what you want to do if you really hate the idea of scorpions coming in your home. You want to make sure your home is treated every other month religiously. Let me tell you, I don't see any bugs because I do it every other month. Don't think if you don't see them that you don't have to do it anymore, because they will come back. Termites is another thing, by the way, and termites, it's not a matter of if you get them, it's going to be when. That's super treatable as well. You can treat your entire home for $400, and that comes with a 1-year warranty. You can also buy extended warranties. If you need that referral, just let me know. I have a long list of references and referrals for you. But outdoor cats and chickens are great natural ways of treating scorpions. I know that sounds crazy. Certain cities allow chickens. City of Chandler just allowed chickens coming to their neighborhoods, but places like Levine, Tolleson, Goodyear, Queen Creek, Gilbert, all chicken-friendly cities, and they're kind of fun. So that's another way that you can also naturally treat for scorpions. And then there's another thing called cinnamon oil. It's not like what you think it is, but cinnamon oil you can actually also put out into your yard, and that's another natural way to keep those out of the house. You can also seal your home. Now, sealing your home is a little pricey, but again, if it's something that keeps you up at night, I would definitely consider it. I just have never seen any scorpions, so why would I seal my house? So the homes that I have seen done are about $3,000 or $4,000, just to let you know. Like I said, it's not cheap, but here's some other ways you can also keep those pests away from your home. You keep your plants trimmed back. I know a lot of people like to have that beautiful overgrowth. I know my brother-in-law does. You want to keep those trees trimmed back. You don't want dead leaves, branches. You don't want anything touching your house. When a tree branch starts to get close to the house, trim it away. That'll also help eliminate some other critters that will come from rooftop to rooftop called rats. But also for termites. If you have termites that are starting to come up through the ground, if they don't have a way to get up onto your house, that's going to reduce the possibility. No piles of wood. Let me tell you, a lot of people If you have wood burning fireplace, they stack wood outside. Don't keep that wood outside. I'm telling you, with the heat and the sun in the summer, it's only going to fall apart and get down at that. That is like a little nest for inviting scorpions. Also, coming from California, we used to have bark, and they do sell it here. And it's amazing how many people that move here from other states, they use it. And that's just inviting termites and scorpions. So look, when you move here, I'm going to give you advice on how to live in Arizona more than just sell you a beautiful home. All right, here's one you're probably thinking a lot about, and that's mammals. So what exactly does that mean? Well, again, we have some cute mammals, like we have jackrabbits, we have little squirrels, and then we also have some not cute, like rodents. That could be like prairie dogs or gophers, which they're cute and they don't really get near you. But let me tell you, if you get a hole in your backyard, you're gonna want to get rid of them. I remember a friend of mine that had he had rodents in his ground out in Queen Creek, because Queen Creek is very much still farming, as is Gilbert, and he had some rodent problems. So there's some interesting ways. They were doing some explosions underneath the ground. They were also putting hoses down the hole. I think there's probably, you can hire someone. But we have mice, we have the rats, like I was talking about, the rooftop rats. You just don't want to encourage those rats to go from house to house to house. So don't have your trees touching your house or your fence. Also, we have a lot of fruit trees here, more specifically citrus. So when you start, and they are plentiful. So when you start to see that citrus season, which it's kind of citrus season in the early part of the year. So in the wintertime, we see massive oranges, lemons. In fact, if you live in a neighborhood that even has a lot of trees like neighbors, everybody starts putting their buckets out front, like free grapefruit, come and take whatever you want, because they're so plentiful. But when these start to ripen and they fall on the ground, that is again an invitation. Food and water are what these animals, insects, etc. are looking for. So some of the more cool animals that you see when you go hiking. I just sold a home, we closed last week. I'm telling you, you walk in through the home, it has one of those massive sliding glass doors that just go choo, 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 choo. And right out the back, there's a swimming pool and then a mountain. If you are going to live up against a mountain and you are looking at extreme heat, extreme drought, or maybe we don't have to worry about snow, so they're not going to come in for warmth. All right, once in 100 years. You are going to experience things like raccoons. I have one time, only one time, and this is in the center of Phoenix. This is so amazing. Saw a ringtail cat. They are amazing, but you're not going to see them very often. We do see coyotes. Coyotes are not even seasonal, so they're going to live in the mountains year round. And again, when they are thirsty or if they are hungry, they're going to come down. Now, I live a good 10-minute drive from the nearest mountain. Okay, and when I say good, I can get to the mountain 10 minutes. I love it. So I'm close enough to the mountains where I don't see many of the mountain-esque type of things, right? But think about this, 10-minute drive. So I'm talking probably about 8 miles. And in between me and that mountain is also a 6-lane each direction freeway, Interstate 10. So think about how far that mountain really is. And if you're a coyote, how far you'd have to go. And there have been coyote sightings in my neighborhood. Now, have I seen a coyote? No. Have I had a problem with coyotes in my area? No. But heads up, one of the cool things, and I'm sure it's everywhere in America, but Facebook is super cool. And also doing Facebook groups for your neighborhood. And also next door is another, once you live in the area, because you actually have to like be within the zip code, or you got to answer the right questions or whatever, because they keep everybody that's in the same area connected. And you can be a part of that community. Hey, beware, just saw a skunk. There's another one. We have skunks. Occasionally, I'll be driving through downtown Phoenix and all of a sudden, who would think we'd have a skunk in the middle of downtown Phoenix? But you know what? We have mountains in downtown Phoenix. So again, these are animals that live in the area. Certain mountains have javelina, which are ugly and they are mean, especially when they have babies, but they don't come near you unless you come near them. We also, in the Scottsdale area, again, people love Scottsdale for their absolutely gorgeous views. but we also have had bobcat sightings up in that area. So again, use that iMammals website to see what things live on what mountains. All right, let's check out what else Arizona has to have with little critters. What do I mean? All right, here's something that you only find, well, I shouldn't say only, you pretty much only find in the desert area, and that is reptiles. Now, if you are a dinosaur buff like my grandson is, he loves learning about all the different lizards and geckos and Gila monsters. And this also includes some fun things like frogs and turtles even that are that are inhabitant of different mountains in the greater Phoenix area. There's even frogs in Gilbert. So wherever you're going to find an abundance of water like lakes and rivers and creeks, you're going to find some of these animals. Now here's the one that you're probably thinking of. I guess they're not animals, reptiles. That is snakes. There are so many species of snakes in Arizona as a whole, and different mountains we have seen different types of snakes. And of course, the number one that everyone thinks about is the rattlesnake. Now, rattlesnakes are certainly no fun to play with, and a lot of people that have dogs and like to hike take a precautionary step for your pet, and that is getting them desensitized, rattlesnake trained. And so some people ask, like, how exactly do you rattlesnake train them? It's actually quite a process, and Levi went through it several years ago, and then we go back every couple of years and just make sure that he still is aware when he can smell, see, or hear a rattlesnake. Have we run into any rattlesnakes while we've been hiking, and we've been family for 6 years? No, we have not. And I hike a lot. But let me tell you this, there were 2 different instances where it was the right time of the year, where it was a little cool, and any kind of a snake will come out to bask in the sun a little bit, right? And all of a sudden he reacted to let me know there is a rattlesnake by. He either heard, saw, or smelled a rattlesnake. And so we just diverted our direction, and he was fine. So does it work? I believe so. Again, with the more you're on the mountain, the more probable it's going to happen that you run into one of these things. And just know your snakes and stay away from them, period, right? Stay on the trail. Don't be a trailblazer. That's where most of the problems usually happen. All right, and my last but not least is insects. I don't know about you, but I don't like insects at all. But some of the insects we have here are beautiful. We have butterflies. In fact, we have the Butterfly Museum. And if you go over to a couple of the zoos, they have areas that are, you can walk into these like cages, and there's literally thousands of butterflies around you. They are absolutely amazing. Now, the other kind of insects, some of them you don't have to worry about. They're going to be like grasshoppers, cicadas. Boy, they sure do make a lot of noise. I'll tell you, I always remember when the kids were walking to school at the beginning of the school year, that is when they seem to be out in the full forces, and you could hear it. I mean, their buzz is so electrifying, like you can lose sleep over it or be woken up in some areas if they decide to pick a tree to live in. So we have that. We have ladybugs. We have all the normal stuff. We do have honeybees. I'll tell you, I've had a couple of people ask about the Africanized killer bees. Here's the thing. It is not one of the main problems that we have here in the greater Phoenix area. When you only have one instance of it, like over the last 10 years, and all of a sudden you have 3 that have been reported in 1 year. If you think about it, that's 300%, 3 times the activity. And so we have seen more in the news, but to be honest with you, it's super hyped. It's the news, right? Clickbait. It's like fear, panic. That's what sells the newspapers or, news on TV. So just remember, honeybees, if you hear the buzz, they react to a disturbance. And again, living here in Arizona, there's some things that you just have to learn. If you go into wildlife, expect that you're disturbing their peace and quiet. So you just kind of have to be a little bit prepared. And when you go hiking, I have a little pack inside my backpack in case of an emergency. So you're going to want to bring a couple of things just to make sure that if something were to happen while you're hiking, you can get back to a station. That's why you shouldn't just go random hiking because you found a mountain. You want, when you're messing with Mother Nature, make sure people know where you are going. All right, guys, if you are thinking about moving to Arizona, I'm telling you, I've lived here a long time. I love the outdoors. I love real estate. Been selling real estate for over 20 years. I'm an old one. But I love to help people. And relocation is completely different than just selling a house. I want to help you. I want to answer your questions, but you got to pick up that phone, give me a call, shoot me a text days, nights, or weekends. I got your back when moving to Phoenix, Arizona, and I cannot wait to hear from you. Until next time, see you soon.